I was going to wait to do this, but apparently we're getting right into it today. So...
Incident has occurred. Facility lockdown engaged.
Incident? Chief Sarkin, what's happening?
There's been an attack at the spaceport. Terramorphs.
Terramorphs. More attacks. Just as predicted.
Good God.
Damn it. They're here. Now.
There must be another explanation. The creatures evaded our scanner somehow.
There will be plenty of time for conjecture later. Chief Sarkin, order the evacuation of the spaceport and have your men contain the things, but do it discreetly. The last thing we need is a citywide panic.
Yes, ma'am.
Admiral Rogan, the local barracks can provide support?
I'll make the order myself. Nearest anti-Xeno squad, though, is off-world. Going to take a while to bring them in.
Well then, we'll have to make do with the tools we've got. You two, we can't risk those things getting out of the spaceport. I want you both on the next train there. We'll let them know you're coming, and that you've dealt with these things before. Now go show them how it's done.
You make me use my good ammo. God damn it. Alright.
We're on it, ma'am. Captain, I'm right behind you. Let's get down there.
Alright, let's do it. Look, guys.
You! The EM rifle, grab it! Now!
Stop! We're trying to help you!
Please! I can't stop!
That's it. Now hit him with everything you...
You want me to shoot civilians with a rifle? I mean, I don't fucking have any non-lethals.
God. Let's do this. I don't think I need a go. You're done. Another loser, another notch on my gun. Lights out on that one.
Okay, what the fuck is this?
Thank you for what you did. We didn't want to hurt them.
The way those people were acting, I've seen this before. They were under the Terramorph's influence, weren't they?
I don't know. They were down at the port and they just started screaming. We tried to restrain them, get them on the train to get them out of harm's way, but some of the other officers down there, we couldn't restrain them fast enough. They just started firing on us. People we knew. They went berserk.
Pheromonic projection. Some Terramorphs, they can induce this fog. It affects everyone differently, but some people just lose control, turn against everyone around them, even if they don't want to. They're like a puppet. You kill the morph, you break the hold. But this means we're gonna need to be real careful with our fire, and keep that EM weapon at the ready. I honestly was just wondering the same thing. But no, you don't need to worry about me. I've had a Terramorph try it on me before. I'm not susceptible. So we'll just have to make sure to watch out for each other down there. I'm not suggesting. It's documented behavior. The result of the projection, though, can vary wildly. Some folks just shrug it off, others hallucinate, and some lose control altogether. They'll lash out at anyone around them, but still be aware while they're doing it. Those cases, you'll either need to knock them out with EM fire, or free them by killing the Terramorph. Let's do it.
That's unlocked. Please, do what you can to help them.
Maybe. Okay. So, I don't think I need to use this rifle because it's a piece of shit. I have a couple other energy weapons somewhere in here. Yeah. This one should do the job. Wish I had a rounds loadout on here for each of these.
My God, no time to waste, Captain! Boots in the dirt!
An evacuation order has been issued for the spaceport district. All citizens are required to proceed to the nearest shelter.
Shoot it! You might back up! Don't just stand there! Kill it!
Nothing's gonna come about it. Captain! You're going... to be okay. It's not real. Whatever you're experiencing right now is not real. We have to put down that door. You're not gonna kill me, are you? That was the last of them.
Officer, are you and this woman experts? Take whatever we can get right now. We've got the remaining creatures locked down on the landing pad. We're barely holding our perimeter. They said you've done this before. Well, one fire team to spare, whatever supplies you need. Can't risk them taking over any more of my men. Put those things down and do it fast. Hold them as best we can.
I'm actually surprised that my health is full.
Heard you might be looking for some backup. You say the word, we're out there on your 6.
You two have any experience with Terramorphs before?
Only the brief they just gave on the way here. But we know how to handle pressure.
Surviving a full-on mental assault isn't the same as keeping your cool in a firefight. Might make you more liability than asset.
We're not UC security. You don't need to worry about us. Your call. We're on the line.
Let's see. Okay, what the fuck? Just picking random directions to scope in on. Seriously, what the fuck? That's like over there. It's scoping in behind me. So if I go there, it goes there. If I go here, it goes there. What the fuck? Okay, come on. Ladies. Oopie.
Wait's almost as bad as the fighting. Not in a million years. Another attack, just as we're making our request? It's insane. If this doesn't convince the cabinet to proceed with our request, I don't know what will. I think we need to find these things fast before they turn any of these folks against us. And that it's ultimately going to be safer if we handle these morphs ourselves. No backup. Eyes peeled.
That jump looked painful. Doing that.
This ship looks very crashed. Alright, we're just gonna have to do it with the shoddy, I think.
these things reached the populated areas of the city, we would have had an absolute massacre on our hands.
Yeah, probably.
You okay? Vitals all still where they're supposed to be?
Fine, dead.
Almost hard to believe. Suppose we were just in the right place at the right time.
Maybe another time.
Past my boat.
Guess they weren't kidding about you two. Universe put the right people in the right place. Certainly doesn't feel like it.
I don't want to think what would have happened if you two hadn't been here.
Just glad we could rise to the occasion. Captain, we should report back to the President. Let her know the Terramorphs have been dealt with. Take care of yourself, Sergeant.
I found the cat. Okay.
Attention. The spaceport has been secured. Safety precautions remain in place. Please wait for the all-clear signal before exiting your homes. That is all.
Days since last Terramorph attack. 0.
Whole building's on lockdown.
That's a relief to hear. Thank you, gentlemen. Let your people all know how much we owe them today.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, there you are. I believe we have some things we should discuss.
The loss of life, the damage to the spaceport. The costs of this attack are greater than I think we realize.
Heroes were minted down at that spaceport, and that includes you. We're counting on you, Captain.
The
Don't
next
let
time
my people
Terramorphs rear their ugly
sacrifice
heads,
in vain.
the UC is going to be ready.
Captain, Hadrian, it would appear that the Cabinet owes you our thanks for what you did for the city today. As well as an apology. Your concerns about the Terramorphs, well, consider them validated.
Thank you, ma'am.
Of course. I only wish we could have acted sooner. Now, after today's events, the Cabinet has decided to revisit its previous decision. We will be supporting your collection of the Terramorph data from the archives, as well as a subsequent investigation into the nature of these attacks. But to accomplish those goals, we're going to need the right people in the right places. As such, the Cabinet has authorized me to reinstate you, Hadrian, effective immediately, to your former rank of Major. As soon as we've got the data in hand, we want you investigating these attacks and how to stop them. Will you do this?
Yes. Yes, ma'am. I'd be honored.
Excellent. But as you've both made clear, for such an investigation to succeed first, we're going to need someone to convince the Freestar Collective and House Varun to play ball. Someone who knows precisely the sorts of dangers the colonies and all the galaxy are facing right now. The Cabinet wants you, Captain, to be that representative.
I'm not even a fucking citizen, man. Why do you want me to represent you? Come on, let me do my buttons.
The Cabinet wants progress, and wants it quickly. You're already far more familiar with the situation than any diplomat would be. There's also no diplomat alive that can claim they helped keep a cadre of terramorphs off the embassy doorsteps. The Cabinet was unanimous. They want you.
I'm not even a fucking citizen, bro.
We see your atypical background as a strength, not a hindrance. The people you'll be dealing with, they're rather atypical themselves. In exchange, we're willing to fast-track your citizenship upon collection of the data. So, will you help us?
Yeah.
It has its perks. Only citizens can purchase property in the city. We also pay reduced prices on most goods and services across the UC. There's also a credit disbursement when you first join. Help get you on your feet. But above all, you'd become a dedicated part of the greatest faction in the galaxy. If you're willing to help us,
Pretty sure all the factions
we can
say
open
that,
that
but
door.
okay. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it sounds like you guys got your teeth kicked in the last Galactic War, but sure. Yeah.
I'm glad to hear it. Now, we, of course, won't be sending you in without the proper support. Deputy McIntyre in the Office of Interstellar Affairs will be your guide on gaining access to the archives. You should be able to find her in her office across the hall. And on behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our thanks. We're dismissed.
Officer.
I'm gonna go check in with Chief Engineer Kulkarni. Start getting a plan together for that data.
Oh, that freaking out over here. I think I'm going insane or something. Hearing voices in my head.
You've got something for me? Until later.
Okay, dokily. Why am I getting repeated pings about something that doesn't fucking exist? Okay. Whatever. Let's do it. Okay, so gotta get past the cube farm.
Yes. Yes, sir. Consider it done. That must make you my Vanguard captain. Welcome to Interstellar Affairs. I'm Deputy Chief Diplomat McIntyre, Chief Yassine's second in command. I heard you were instrumental in protecting the city from the attack. You have my gratitude. I was also told the President wants us to get you into the Armistice archives ASAP. So, we've got no time to waste. You know what the archives are, correct?
Let me think. They're the thing that ended the last intergalactic war between you and the Freestar Collective when they kicked your teeth in. Yes.
Someone paid attention in current events. So, then you also know that it was originally managed by the 3 major galactic players. Access to the archives is only granted in cases of dire emergency, and requires a one-time use code from each of the 3 Armistice signatories. UC, Freestar Collective, and House Varoon. Now, the UC is already on board, so that means we'll need to convince 2 people. The ambassadors of the Freestar Collective and House Varoon to hand over their codes. Get them both and you'll have your data. But that's a lot easier said than done. No. Each is a strip of several million random numbers generated on the fly based on biometric keys kept by each of the ambassadors on their person at all times. They're impossible to create without those keys, and those keys stay with the ambassadors, meaning we're accessing nothing if we can't get them on our side.
I wish I could save right now.
Very funny. This is going to be hard enough already. Both ambassadors have reasons they won't, or can't, work with us. Now, I'll provide guidance on how we believe you can acquire each code, but ultimately, it'll be up to you to get them both to cooperate. And I do mean cooperate. Threats and violence are off the table here.
Oh, come on. I'm just
Though that doesn't mean we can't get creative. But it does mean we need to get you up to speed on who you're dealing with. Who do you want to start with? Ambassador Radcliffe of Freestar, or Ambassador Balmore of House Varoon?
Ah, Balmore. Good man. Went to school with his kids. Now we learned all about piracy.
The good Ambassador Radcliffe. She's a veteran of the Colony War, and her only goal in life is to make ours miserable. Now, officially, our office is suggesting you try and negotiate with her. Use your experiences as a member of the military and with the threat we're facing to convince her to lend her support. And who knows? Maybe that'll work. Stranger things have happened. But my suspicion is we're going to have to rely on other tools to get her code.
Alcohol. Gotcha.
Huh. Well, if that's the case, I'll wait to be pleasantly surprised. But we do have one item up our sleeve. UC Intelligence has a recording device planted in the ambassador's living quarters, which we suspect you can use to your advantage. But getting caught trespassing is a quick way to land yourself in an embassy holding cell. So, if you are going to try and access the device, you're going to need to find a way in there without being seen. Report suggests there's a disgruntled staff member you might be able to pump for intel. Maybe even convinced to work with you. Name's Cameron Long. He's younger than Ratcliffe, bears less of a grudge towards the UC. He works closely with the ambassador, making him a promising source for information on the ins and outs of embassy life, and someone who very likely hates her guts.
She sounds like a charming lady.
Yes, many. Don't steal anything. Don't get caught anywhere you're not supposed to. Absolutely do not harm anyone. If something goes wrong, we'll do our best to smooth things over, but I can't make any promises.
All right. Here, your diplomatic ID. I'll give them a heads up you're on your way. Not likely to let you through the door otherwise. Official line is that you're to negotiate with her. My suggestion, she's also got a step. Ambassador Balmore's a challenge. When the rest of House Varun retreated into seclusion shortly after the signing of the armistice, Balmore stayed here. He's since lent his support to a small number of archival requests, so there's real hope he might again. Though claiming to know how a member of House Varun thinks is a quick way to earn yourself a psych eval.
Well, these days, they're primarily considered a security threat. House Varun Zealots, a fundamentalist outshoot of the group that stayed behind when the rest retreated into seclusion, want nothing more than to send everyone not dedicated to their cause to the great serpent in the sky. But that hasn't always been the case. After they ended the Serpent's Crusade about 70 years back, House Varun did take a real run at trying to normalize relations with the rest of the galaxy. It's why they have an embassy here in the first place, why they were included in the armistice negotiations. But then, without warning, they left, leaving behind, to our knowledge, just the ambassador and his duty under the armistice.
It does, but there's a concern. We're not 100% sure Balmore's actually still alive.
That's a little bit of a
Public
concern.
appearances were always rare, but it's been several years now since he last poked his head out. Scans of the facility show life signs, but not the kind we were expecting.
Your task is to find him and kindly but firmly remind him of his duties under the armistice. Then you search the embassy for his biometric key, collect your code piece, and we'll go about notifying his next of kin, if we can ever find them. But let's hope it doesn't come to that.
The embassy is still legally House Varun's sovereign territory, so we're not technically permitted inside. We've snuck in the occasional spy, of course, but the ambassador has proven more evasive than you'd expect for a man of his age. But we're quite sure he hasn't left the city. The man stands out.
What does that mean?
The Varun delegation brought more than a few of their native flora with them when they set up in the embassy. It seems those plants have been allowed to flourish, making it hard for us to verify what's flora and what's ambassador. It would at least be a speedier negotiation, but I, of course, hope the ambassador is alive and well.
Now, the embassy front door isn't an option, but our spies have stated there's a side entrance that should allow you access. Here, this device should get you all the way down to the embassy interior. Once you're inside, though, finding the ambassador is going to be up to you. And fair warning, we received a report that alarms might have been tripped inside the embassy during the attacks. Watch out for automated security in there.
Now, if you have additional questions or require clearance for a new approach we haven't already discussed, don't hesitate to ask. I'd suggest you start with Ambassador Radcliffe. Approach her while the attack is still fresh in her and her staff's mind. Be smart out there, Captain.
Okay. Well, let's get her done.
Yes, what?
Nothing, dude. You just do what you need to do.
storage. I need sign-off from the Interstellar Affairs office before I can set foot in there. You gotta be kidding me. It's plumbing, not pastry. It could cause an incident. It would mean my job, sir. Fine. Begin the process. Wouldn't want to withhold the chance for more red tape from the great UC. Unless you have embassy business, I suggest you move along.
All right now, good buddy. I'll move it right along.
Hard to believe it's been 2 decades since we were at war with the Collective, when it seems like only yesterday.
You're entering Freestar sovereign territory, so show some respect in there.
Visitors are only allowed in the lobby, offices, or...
I'm going to be upfront with you. I'm not happy visiting anything related to the Freestar Collective. But you lead, and I'll follow.
All right.
Security, and they still can't protect their own spaceport. UC never fails to disappoint. I just wish I had received the news from an SSNN broadcast. We have a strategic advantage to maintain, Mr.
Of course, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
You guys need to work on your sound insulation.
Sorry. Everyone's a little on edge after the attack.
That woman is an absolute... Oh, sorry. Oh.
Good looking wall.
You're the Vanguard captain, right? You know, I was about to board the Nat to the spaceport when the alarm triggered. Sounds like I got real lucky. And like I've got you to thank for things not being a lot uglier. Doubt the Vanguard would have a lot of recruits if that were the job description. But I'll take your point. But look, they said you were coming here on official business. The ambassador likes to handle all that personally, even if she does have trained diplomats here to help her. And I don't want to get shipped back to Aquila City, so you should probably go speak to her. You were maybe.
Official business? Talk to the ambassador. I'm sorry. Do you have an appointment?
You look like a fucking peach.
You're the one McIntyre called about. The eyewitness. She said you were at the spaceport. You have my thanks for what you did down there, truly. Saved many lives. Now, she also mentioned that, and maybe it was just a bad connection, that now the UC wants terramorph data from the Armistice archives, some of the most highly guarded information in the galaxy, in order to protect us all. I can only presume you're here to tell me I misheard her and that they didn't send you, local hero, to futilely beg on their behalf. Tell me I've got that right. Oh, stop. You're embarrassing yourself. Let me be frank, Captain. The answer is no. That information is there because it is dangerous. I will not be the one responsible for its release. Now, why don't you quit wasting my time and yours, and go? You're really gonna push this? All right, I will give you... I'm listening.
Oh, this is a tough one.
You're not gonna flatter me into acting against the Freestar. You know that for sure. That is interesting. I suppose you're right. Our job and our responsibility. And if the United Colonies abuses this terramorph data, Captain,
Nah, we'll try it again. He's a bitch. But I don't have good sneak, so.
Visitors are only allowed in the lobby, offices. I'm going to be upfront with you. I'm not happy visiting anything related to the Freestar Collective. But you lead, and I'll follow.
Never fails to disappoint. I just wish I hadn't received the news from an SSNN broadcast. We have a strategic advantage to maintain, Mr. Long.
Of course, ma'am. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Excuse me. Are you supposed to...
Yeah, shut the fuck up, lady. Nobody likes you.
You're allowed 3.
I'm sorry. Do you have an...
lobby or the ambassador's office? You set foot anywhere else, there's going to be problems.
Ah, you're the one McIntyre called about. You have my thanks. Now, now the use... I can only presume. Let me be frank, Captain. I will not be the one... You're really gonna push... I'm listening. Are you suggesting we can't defend ourselves? You know that for sure? It's possible I might be letting my history cloud my judgment. I suppose you're right. Our job and our responsibility. Preventing more deaths is... Captain...
Fuck. Yeah, this is a tricky persuasion. He wants so much out of it.
Excuse me. Are you supposed
This building
to be...
is Freestar sovereign territory.
I'm sorry.
So in here.
Ah, you're the one, You have my thing. Now, now the use... I can only presume. Let me be... I will not be the... You're really gonna push the... I'm listening. You know that for sure. It's a job I take very seriously. No one does, Captain. It's possible I might be letting my... Well, Captain, you make some good points. But if I'm really granting you access, I'm gonna need the following concessions. Your access will be limited. You can only take out the items related to stopping these terramorphs. The monitors will make sure of it. You go in once, you get everything you need on your trip, and never again. And all research done with the data will be monitored. If this data is being used to save the galaxy needs to be involved in the oversight. Freestar scientists will watch your people like hawks. So, do we have an agreement?
I don't think I could do that. Sure.
Excellent. Follow me.
I like her just clipping through the stairs.
They tell me it should only take a moment. And there. Here, I'll reach out to Deputy McIntyre. We'll coordinate the necessary oversights. To Two unlikely allies, I guess.
Okay, and now for the one that's likely to be more violent. What's this? I thought it was interesting looking, but it's not. That's an office. Their security around here is pretty shit. Like, vents all over the fucking place. They do have a lot of elevators, though. I'll give them that. This place looks like it's seen better days. I feel like I could get hepatitis just walking around in here.
This isn't what I expected at all. It appears the flora they were using as decor has overgrown the entire embassy.
Okay. I am taking orders from a snake. I don't mean a politician. Hey, Mr. Snake, I'm taking your ramen. Thank you. Eric, walk out of the way for a second, please.
I've never seen a tree like this before in my entire life. It'd actually be more fascinating if its branches weren't blocking our way. You have anything valuable?
I think you guys need to trim back your shrubbery, yeah? I like these mannequins in the bathroom stalls. Who's your guys' interior decorator? Digging it. Yeah, yeah. It's a good look for a bunch of crazy people. And we're in. Insanity. Jeez, everything in here is fucking locked, man. Alright. And we're in.
Hey, feel free to drop. Time to go?
Good catch on the turrets.
find anything useful?
Yeah, I'm finding a lot of useful stuff actually. For like an abandoned facility. A lot of good stuff in here.
Here! Right here! Yeah, what is it? Glad to haul them. Talk to you later.
Like the one place of this building that isn't full of freaky tree nonsense. Oh, well, I broke those already, so. I can actually see now. Yeah, I already broke those. Okay.
So, what seems punishment becomes providence. A reminder we can never truly know the Great Serpent's designs for us. Come, let us discuss.
So I can take stuff from this room, but not others? Oh, I can't even take all this either. Weird. Okay. Okay. He actually seems like a decent bloke, not gonna lie. He just wants what's best for his people. Alright. Balmore.
Not the ideal introduction, I suppose, giving you a grand tour of the embassy via barely functioning intercoms. I do greatly appreciate your persistence. I suspect the Venom tree upstairs has worked itself into more systems than I'd realized. But then again, who could cage such a beauty? Tell me though, what is it like outside? I heard the broadcast mentioning an attack, then the embassy was struck with a power surge, and then silence. Has the rest of the city suffered quite so badly? Harmless spores, you have my word, but hard to navigate. Hence why I was guiding you through the intercoms to restore the environmental controls. And release me. It is the sap of the tree that gives it its... well, perhaps not a topic for this exact moment. But I must know of the rest of the city. Does it still stand? I take it you didn't have such an experience where you were then, hmm? Yes, the entire embassy was thrown into lockdown, trapping me in my quarters, disabling the Venom tree's filters, and arming the defenses. A disconcerting experience, to say the least. Was the rest of the city spared? Is that right, huh? I shall need to have these repairs seen to sooner rather than later. Now, it cannot solely be the Serpent's grace that brought you here at such an opportune moment. You were sent by the UC. That much is obvious. Who else could just waltz through my door, hmm? And the broadcast spoke of terror morphs at the spaceport. A worrying occurrence, certainly, but coming here of all places, when all I could provide is some enthused cheerleading and... an archive code. So the UC requires information, then. On terrormorphs, presumably, hmm? Do I see this all clearly?
This guy has a entertaining way of talking. I kind of like him.
Preservation of life stands as the very purpose of the archives. Using its data to prevent more attacks, there is logic there. But if I am to grant you access, I have a requirement. For years, House Varun has been known only as an agent of slaughter. We founded this embassy with hopes of shedding that legacy, with little success. In exchange for my code, I require this. You must be the one who ensures it is used for good. Ensure House Varun's legacy is more than just carnage. The knowledge you ask for isn't evil. No knowledge is. It is we who bend it to evil ends. Now, you must assure me this will be used to save lives, not endanger them. A fine counterexample, responsible for the deaths of millions on ancient Earth. And fireworks? Absolutely capable of being put to violence, but not evil in itself. And here you are with a similar conundrum. I might be willing to support you if I knew I would not be tarnishing the legacy of House Varun by doing so.
As the chair of Constellation, I take personal responsibility in vouching for this woman's integrity. She'll keep her word.
Well then, I shall not fear. Please, follow me.
Where have you been?
Let's hope it still works. And there. Let it be used for good. I will not have House Varun be known only for slaughter. The affairs of House Varun are our own. They left. That is all there is to be said on the subject. House Varun committed itself to the armistice. This was said at the time to be the desire of the Great Serpent, and I do not believe the Serpent decides such things on a whim. So, when my brethren left, I remained, honoring the Serpent's will as I saw fit. This is the right of all his followers. It was tolerable, even pleasant, when my brethren were here in the embassy with me. We remade this place as best we could into a home we all would recognize. Our native flora, our iconography, our connection to the Serpent, they came with us. With my brethren gone, it has been trying. But the Great Serpent has always provided me a path in my darkest moments. The Great Serpent is so much more than a god. It is fate itself. When our founder, Jinan Varun, left the United Colonies 140 years ago for distant stars, it was the Serpent that compelled him to found his now great house. The Serpent made us who we are today. Its voice speaks to us, shepherding us through the dark, and infuses our lives with the meaning the universe so often fails to provide.
Smells like rain. I like this guy.
the big pick. You know what? On second thought, I don't want to know.
Storeroom key.
Okay, that's it. Time to sell some of your junk.
Bam.
See what I'm carrying? Bye for now.
What response?
I'm told by top officials the cabinet already have this attack has people really spooked. And who could blame them?
Ah, Captain. Congratulations on joining the ranks of the Vanguard.
Pardon.
Okay. Hello.
Captain, you're back sooner than... Oh, wait. Did you actually succeed? With Radcliffe? And Balmore? We're all in agreement. So the old man was still lurking around in there. Fine work, Captain. And now, I've already arranged everything with the archival monitors. When you get down there, the UC monitor will give you instructions on how to deploy the codes. Follow them to the letter. Here, the UC code piece and an archival access card. The entrance is just on the other side of the plaza across from Mast. Absolute best behavior down there, all right?
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. A lot of walking around today.
Yes? You needed something?
I'm listening. If you have any gear... Bye.
Please let me know if I may assist you. You won't find a larger array of options, and I'm sure you'll be... Glad you came in.
Come on in. CJ's is always open. I've got all your basics.
Whoops.
Thanks for stopping by. Yeah. Be seeing you.
What? Oh, sorry.
I have mixed feelings about it. But sales are up significantly since what happened at the spaceport. Is that a surprise? These are potentially. I'm sure we could.
Welcome to Chunks. Please choose. I'm happy to serve.
This guy is killing me. Literally killing me.
There is simply all of our signature dishes are unique to... Yes, of course. Enjoy the rest of your...
Hi there. Hello, and welcome to Terror. Certainly.
If you have a news story for me, I'm very happy.
Really? A lot of people were there. What was your role in that? The Vanguard was involved. The whole city is still on edge over the attack. What was it like in the thick... Pure instinct, huh? It sounds like New Atlantis. Any closing comments? That makes me feel better. Hey, Constellation? From all of us that live here, thanks. We use the word hero a lot in news, but you really are one.
You have another story for me? Hope to see you again.
You're only a safe... please do. good luck on all your adventures. I would never dream of some. Yes, by all means. Be careful out there.
Oh, I'll try.
Hello.
Ever wonder how the Crimson Fleet...
Wen really keeps the distribution center.
Welcome to UC Distribution. Yes. You're always welcome back, if you don't mind a bit of a wait.
You have a nice day now.
Hi.
Yeah? I'll only carry... Bye-bye.
Missed our Bobby so much.
Fill out an application today to become part of the most advanced technology corporation in the
You got your clearances? Good.
Not supposed to be talking to you.
Captain, we've been expecting you. Please approach the monitoring station and we will go over the rules.
This must be the Varun one, I'm guessing. Because those guys seem like one of the groups.
Welcome, Captain, to the Archives. To proceed, you will need to deposit your codes into the 3 corresponding receptacles. Once they are verified, I will open the door. Your data resides in Unit 18. You will not be able to access any of the other units. Once you've collected your data, return to the entrance. You may insert the first of the archival codes when you're ready to begin. You may proceed, Captain.
I am the bull now. Really smells like it's trying to rain outside and failing miserably. Suppose I shouldn't be surprised.
Captain, can I help you?
Yeah, just going up to the office. You know how it is.
There you are. Captain, Deputy told me what went down. Impressive work.
Captain, if you'd be willing to transfer the documents to the Major, she and I have been discussing what comes next.
Time for us to start getting some real answers, and figure out if we've been asking the right questions. So whenever you're ready. You're carrying the most comprehensive collection of information on terramorphs in the known universe. If we can't pry an answer out of there, it likely doesn't exist. Certainly doesn't mean it's going to be easy. We're not gonna know until Percival and I dig in, so whenever you're ready. Yes. It will be. Percival and I have done our damage. This is us starting to put some things right. So with the data out of the way, we've been discussing where exactly this work's getting done. The Red Devil's headquarters on Mars, back where you found Percival, seemed the natural spot. Already has the equipment, the safety measures. Though it sounded like the deputy had a few more things she needed to discuss with you first.
Indeed. The most important of which is getting you your citizenship.
Then I guess we'll see you on Mars.
Captain, if you'll follow me.
joke. Say those Varun zealots worship a snake. But let me tell you, it ain't a snake. It's some kind of celestial being. They call it the Great Serpent. Is it real? Hell if I know. But they think it is. And that makes them dangerous.
Where are we going? I'm confused.
All right, Captain. Are you ready to become a citizen of the United Colonies? It doesn't. We don't really care where else you might have been or might become a citizen. Once you earn your place in the United Colonies, it's yours. Good. This isn't the only item we need to discuss, so I'll give you the short version. Please raise your hand. Captain, through your actions today and in days past, you have earned your place among the United Colonies. Through service, bravery, strength, and upholding of the mutual good. Will you carry and cultivate these values for as long as you remain a citizen? Then, Captain, I'm pleased to welcome you into the United Colonies as a full citizen. Here, your official ID and your citizenship dispensation. We've also let the Aphelion Realty office out in the plaza know you're approved to purchase property. Now, the other item we needed to discuss. There's a member of the UC who's asked to speak to you. This person is in a sensitive position. Normally, we wouldn't even consider something like this, but we think this person has information that could prove useful in dealing with the Terramorphs. And they've stated they'll only share it with you. They asked for you by name. So I need your agreement that everything you're about to see is kept in the strictest confidence. You can tell no one. Can you agree to these terms? I'm sorry. I can't share any more without your word. Do I have it?
What the fuck is she talking about?
Let's hope it never comes to that. Head to the elevator. You're going to subsection 7. I'll make sure you're cleared for access by the time you get there.
Jeez, I'm going to all the fucking places today, man. Devils you know, and the devils you don't. Guessing it's Hadrian's daddy. Big bad admiral.
I've lived in New Atlantis almost my entire life, and I had no idea this place even existed. The UC certainly excels at keeping secrets.
Logging, authorized entry, unsealing access. You may proceed down the corridor. But there are no additional visitors permitted. Your friend's gonna have to wait out here.
I'll be fine. You go on ahead.
Welcome, Captain. Please, come down and approach the intercom. You and I should chat.
He looks like an admiral.
President Abeyo was kind enough to give me a few files to peruse. Quite the series of accomplishments you've managed. But now you face a foe unlike any other. An invisible enemy lurking in the shadows. You're going to need all the help you can get. Which is why I hoped we could speak. Do you know who I am?
Yep.
No, I suppose not. I'm Francois Sanon, but most know me as They Victus. I was an
Called
admiral during the Colony War. One of its great villains, if you believe the slates. I was to be executed for my crimes, but the previous regime deemed me too valuable to simply discard. So they put me here, a sacrifice on the altar of peace. Even my death served the colonies. To warrant my execution, the official charges I faced after the war were twofold. The first was the destruction of civilian ships during the Battle of Cheyenne, a battle during which those civilian ships were actively attacking my fleet. The other was ordering the bombing of the Londinian spaceport to halt the spread of the Terramorph outbreak there. The city and its citizens were lost, but countless others likely saved. And for doing what was right, I was put on trial, and my life irrevocably changed. One final act of rebellion by the leadership that lost the Colony War. The trial was authentic. I faced tribunal with dignity, but my execution, staged. A lethal injection that was anything but. The cabinet at the time, long gone now, wished to keep me on as an advisor.
Oh, hello.
And considering the other option, I was in no place to refuse. So I elected to trade my freedom for my continued existence. But such is the life of a soldier. Very astute. That's my daughter. My progeny. You've been working alongside. Has she shared with you the nature of our little family? Unfortunately, I'm inclined to agree with you. Our relationship has always been a challenging one. The Major was born to become a great leader, carry on the legacy I established, and was given all the finest training to support it. And she excelled. But the universe cut all that short. Now, though, it's placed even more crucial work in front of the two of you. And I think I have a part to play in helping you accomplish what you've set out to do. It was an attempt by the United Colonies to solidify its own legacy, forging a new generation of great leaders. They were raised by adoptive families made up of scholars and tacticians, trained at the United Colonies' greatest scientific and military academies, displayed incredible promise. But by the time the Colony War came to a close, there was only Hadrian. But that's ancient history now. You have much more pressing matters at hand, with which I can help. After some long years earning the trust of this current regime, the UC has been permitting me to work alongside one of their recovery teams, helping them gather intelligence on, locate, and organize scenarios to lure in some of the criminals that evaded justice after the Colony War. With quite a few successes, I might add. But in the process, I managed to find something else. The names and locations of Hadrian and Percival's old research team. Valuable manpower for the effort you're about to embark on. I'll tell you where they are, but in exchange, I need something dealt with. Well, who better to find them? But many of them I knew personally, and I've always had a mind for details. Where someone was born, next of kin, You'd be shocked how often an otherwise brilliant criminal flees to the planet just next to the one where they were born, or where a family member resides. I simply use my own personal knowledge and the information our group collects for me to track them down and set things right. Nothing else then? There is a former colleague of mine, a man by the name of Dr. Reginald Orleys. Like myself and Hadrian, he was involved in some of the United Colony's more problematic lines of research. Mech weapons were his specialty. If it dealt death, he could make a deal more. When the colony war ended, he fled, refusing to face tribunal, and has continued to peddle his skills to the highest bidder to this day. But I finally found him. I want you to track him down and deal with him, however you're able. I'm not expecting you'll come quietly. Bring me evidence that the job's done, and I'll tell you what I know. Captain, your files indicate a track record of unlikely successes. It is my genuine hope that, perhaps down the line, you might become a part of our team. And this might be something of a tryout. Speak to Deputy McIntyre. I'm sure she'd be happy to hear that someone might be tying up this loose end at long last. Though I would ask you, do not make the mistake of confusing me for a simple cutthroat. You can certainly try, but the man's been out there 20 years. He's likely gone feral by now. Easier for all if you simply blow up his ship and be done with it. If that's what you require to sleep at night, so be it. According to my information, he's been hiding around the world of Etheria. Wolf system. There's a star station in the vicinity. The Den. The head of the local vanguard, one Captain Marquez, should be able to help you find our man.
Alright. That was, something. Ooh, computers. Is there anything I can steal? Anything not bolted down? No. Dead face. Did it give him a nice little space down there? I hope you enjoyed all of the sarcasm. Why do I get the feeling there's actually nothing in here at all? This room is legal to pick your way into, but there's also fuck all in there.
Identity verified. You may proceed to the exit.
Something you need? Okay.
Come on, seriously? Vanguard sure got lucky snagging you.
Captain, did your meeting go well? I hope it's clear now why we needed you to agree to all the secrecy. Captain, please, keep your voice down. The situation with the prisoner is a complex one. A holdover from a different era. But it's a situation we've been managing as discreetly and humanely as we can for some time now. And the most critical part of that management is making sure no one else learns of it. Do I make myself clear? The Major doesn't have clearance for this sort of information, and she certainly doesn't need a distraction from her current, very important work. Which is why I need you to keep this to yourself. Short of jailing you? No, you're right. But in this moment, I think it would be a big mistake to tell her. Though I presume he didn't call you down there simply to discuss his daughter.
I want to take the freestar angle.
You're in the Vanguard, right? Hey. Thanks for your
Oh, there's a bug.
Captain, did your meeting go well? I hope it's clear now why we needed you to agree to all the secrecy. Exactly. Just another prisoner. With anyone. No, they really shouldn't. And bringing up what you've learned outside this building will make you, Captain, look like a crazy person. I don't want that, and you certain. Now, was there something in particular? Dr. Reginald Orlaise? He's finally found him. Of course, killing Orlaise is completely out of the question, but bringing him to justice... He's been on the lam for years. That'd be a huge win for the UC. What's being offered in return? Really? He found the members of the research team. We'd already initiated a search for them, but it'd save a lot of time and manpower if he just gave us that information. Captain, if that's the deal, you have my endorsement. Just so long as you make every effort to bring the man in alive. Now, was there anything else you wanted to discuss regarding your meeting? The Den? It's a star station, orbiting Wolf, the second star station actually to bear that title. The first one was blown to smithereens by House Varun during the Serpent's Crusade. The place has always acted as a remote strategic hub, primarily for repairing and refueling UC military vessels. But because of its distance from the rest of the UC, things there have always been a little more lax. Patrols included. I can think of worse places in the galaxy for a criminal to hide out. Trusting the man downstairs would be a mistake, but I don't think you need to be too concerned. This is far from the first name he's handed over, and all previous missions went off largely without a hitch. So while I'd certainly warrant caution, I think you can proceed. Then I'll bid you good day, Captain, and remind you of the importance of discretion.
Oh boy. Very dramatic. Oh, no, you can't trust that man in the basement.
I have a feeling today's going to be a great day.
He's got those crazy eyes.
Never a better time than right now to... It's a buyer's market right now. Good time. Well, first of all, let's see what we have. Right now, I've got a little place in the well that's up for grabs. Needs some work, and the location is less than ideal, but I have a penthouse apartment in one of the residential towers. I forgot. Government has dibs on that one. Sound like something you're interested in? Great. It's very cozy. I'm sure you'll love it. I'll just and the apartment is all yours. Let's see what we... I have a penthouse apartment in one of... Oh, don't I wish. Between UC regulations and demand. But you best believe enjoy your time in New Atlantis.
do for you?
You're carrying too many odds and ends. Time to let something go. Yes? Have something for me? Goodbye.
You're out there a lot, right?
Be scanned as you enter the city.
Just do us
Please
all a
keep
favor and
moving.
never turn into one of those spacers.
Okay, no bounty. You're clear. Enjoy your visit.
Ah, crime has slowed down since you started helping out, which is good. The whole department is in the process of recovering, myself included. If I'm being honest, I still have nightmares of my team turning on one another. Things can be replaced and wounds can be healed, but building back that trust in each other is going to take time. Luckily, we've built a good culture here, and we hired some new recruits who were inspired by what you did. I've got faith we'll survive this. I do. Thanks to you, the spaceport is up and running again, which is good for commerce, but also for smugglers. We've received a tip that someone has been bringing in contraband into New Atlantis through the spaceport, and we need to investigate. Well, technology-wise, criminals have always been one step ahead. No different now than it was centuries ago. Smugglers often have fancy shielding or scan jammers that allow them to evade the checks.
I have no idea what that's like.
We can still use old-fashioned detective work to track these criminals down. Great. First, speak to one of the technicians over by landing pad B. Ask them if they've noticed any suspicious activity. Once you've gotten a lead, cross-reference their testimony with ship records over at Aegis. When you're done, report back to me with your findings. Remember that job you did for Agent Plato? I finally had a reason to call in that favor he owes us. I asked him to pull the names and cargo of every potential smuggling ship that docked in the last month. He said he'll have a slate ready for you to examine. There should be a few working on the landing pads. If they don't know anything, move on to another. Right now, we don't have any good leads. But if anyone's seen anything, it will give us something to go on. See you later.
What can I help you with?
I'm so excited to see Tony after work.
Much as I'm eager to explore the universe, there's nothing quite like the feeling of returning home.
Neon.
to carry all that junk.
this place for long. All I
Don't mind me? Okay, then. My legs only. Thank you for retreat. Let's keep this.
Something you need?
Gotta call, someone's power kept going out. Just doesn't add up.
Can I help you? Can't say I have. When you work a job like this, you see so many ships. They all sort of blend together. Look, I'm just a port worker. My whole life would fit into one of these boxes. I've got nothing to hide. Now, if you don't mind...
Excuse me. Can I help you? It's about time. I've been telling my supervisor about that cargo ship for ages. Beginning to think he was ignoring me. It's the way the crew handled the cargo. They were being way too delicate. The manifest said they were carrying potatoes, spent. I don't know what was in those crates, but it certainly wasn't that. That's the problem. I don't really look at the ship names when I work, just the ID number granted for clearance. I think it was UC576B. I do know it's a cargo class transport, if that helps. All right, bye.
Sorry I couldn't be more help, but I...
You will be scanned as you enter the city. Please keep... Okay.
I'm listening.
I wonder if I'll miss New Atlantis when Tony and I leave.
fewer people. I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to discuss the details of my division's work. That I do, Captain. Sergeant Yumi said you'd be coming to pick it up. You've got good timing, too. I actually have a friend on a classified star station who sent me this list of potential smugglers the other day. Here you are. Given I owe you for the last job, I hope it serves some use. That's right. Classified station, top secret projects, etc., etc. Nothing you need to be concerned with at the moment, Captain. Yep. Every ship on that list has a route that goes through New Atlantis. Not surprising, given we're the biggest port in town. And if they're smuggling stuff there, you can bet your ass they're smuggling stuff here. Keep your eyes open.
One day, I'm gonna leave New Atlantis.
Wow. Hi. Hi. You good? Okay, bye.
Found those smugglers yet? How's the investigation going? Is that right? Do you know the name by any chance? Of course. Found those smugglers yet? Is that right? Captain Enjai's ship. I think you might have hit the mark here. You had reports of their crew being less than professional on several occasions. Still, being a little rough around the edges isn't exactly a crime. Then the next step is searching their cargo for any smuggled contraband. And, as luck would have it, I believe the Anansi has already arrived at landing pad B. I'll make the call to have the ship detained until further notice. Your job is to board the ship, locate any illicit goods, and return them here. And if any of the crew puts up a fight, I trust you know what to do. Good luck.
That mean I can whoop their ass?
All unit behaviors are dictated by
Should I warm up the end? When you have a few moments, there's something I'd like to discuss. Can I help? Ever since we talked about the Battle of Cassiopeia, I can't get what happened out of my mind. Was it that obvious? Oh, I thought I could handle these memories, but until I return to Cassiopeia, I'll never be able to put this to rest. The last time I saw my crew, their escape shuttle was headed for the planet's surface. I need to find the wreckage to ensure their memories are honored. I would like that. Actually, I need that. One problem though. Pinpointing the crew's shuttle wreckage is going to be like trying to find a grain of salt in a sandbox. I think we need to start by locating my old campsite on Cassiopeia 1. Shortly after I evacuated, I saw the ship come apart. The UC listed it as lost, so I assume the Dauntless was completely destroyed. The Dauntless took heavy fire to the docking section during the battle. We had 3 shuttles. One was destroyed, and the other 2 were damaged. There was no other way off the ship. What's there to tell? I survived. My crew didn't. Still, I'll never forget my finger hovering over that launch button. Would I launch safely, or explode into a fireball? It turned out that my shuttle had just enough power to allow an emergency landing on the planet's surface. I wouldn't call what I did a soft landing, but thank you all the same. My shuttle should have the telemetry tracking data for the other shuttle aboard. It should give us an idea where it went down. That's if scavengers haven't completely stripped my ship for parts. It has a breathable atmosphere, indigenous fauna, and maybe a few abandoned mining outposts. Otherwise, it's not populated. Don't worry, it's not as though I'm coming apart at the seams. It's the conversations we've been having. They dredged up these old memories, and they're a burden. Hold on. I don't know the exact location of my survival campsite. For that, we are going to have to head to Mast and see if we can get the information from my old friend, Admiral Logan. Your instincts are right on target. Logan and I butted heads more than once during my time with the Navigator Corps. We've never seen eye to eye. Look, I hope this isn't asking too much. Last thing I want to do is drag you into some kind of personal crusade. desperate for your help. Truth is, I'm scared. When I set foot on Cassiopeia, I don't know if I'll be able to handle what I find. If I begin to fall apart, I need someone I can trust to hold me together. Besides bad memories, I don't know. I'm trying not to think about it. Not yet. I know you will. You've always been there when I've needed your help. Why you continue to support me, I'll never understand.
Oh, Lord.
I don't know what to say. I've been so busy searching the stars for answers. I've overlooked what's been in front of me all this time. True love. Something I've seriously considered sharing with you for a long time. I'm just not ready. Not
Oh,
yet.
that's considered flirting or not. I don't think it is.
Traveling out here with you, I've discovered that friendships change by circumstance. I worked closely with Aja on long space voyages, so we became friendly. When she quit Constellation, the friendship ended. But I'm certain at this point, even if you and I were separated by a great distance, we'd never lose touch. Yes, you're absolutely right. Hey, anyway, I've taken up enough of your time. I know you have a lot to do. I really appreciate your offer to visit Cassiopeia. Hopefully, it'll bring me the closure that I've needed for far too long.
Okay, well, now that that's out of the way, let's search the ship for drugs. Yep, this looks like a ship, all right. This is a door. Yep, yep. And a ladder. Yep. Another door. Good to see it works. Yep. OSHA safety inspector, don't mind me.
You with UC security? My suggestion? You turn around and pretend you saw nothing. You're barking up the wrong tree. Just get off the ship and tell your boss the ship's clean.
Looking for something? What now?
A hell of a bridge they have here. Where can I get me one of these? Let's see. Idiom, monopropellant, crate of contraband. That.
Well, it looks like you got me, officer. I guess this means my potato shipping days are numbered. But maybe you'd be willing to give a first-time offender a slap on the carpal bone. I don't suppose you're interested in a deal? You do have a point. The penalty for smuggling contraband may be steep in New Atlantis, but it isn't death. And how bad can the prisons be anyway? Compared to Aquila City, probably like staying at a resort. Fine, take it. Do what you have to.
I'm also taking your money.
Carrying enough clutter there, or should we find some more?
Because you guys had a lot of good shit on here.
This isn't over.
Want a fucking bet? Jeez, they have a brig and everything. That's fancy shit, man. Jesus.
Get out of my face, pig.
I don't want to kill her.
We'll cooperate, but don't think for a second we'll talk. I'm a smuggler, not a snitch.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. They have taken all of their cargo.
If you don't mind, I'd like to speak to Admiral Logan sooner rather than later. Oh, yes, of course. I almost forgot. Admiral Logan's office shouldn't be terribly far. Let's go.
Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum.
You will be scanned as you enter the city. Please keep moving. Okay, no bounty. Clear.
How's the investigation? How's the investigation going? Good work. Did you find anything? Very well done, Captain. Time and time again you come through for us. Initially, I felt bad for having someone of your rank doing security, but frankly, you're worse the guilt. In any case, I'll have a team move the ship off the landing pad and do a full sweep. Make sure there's no other surprises on board. Oh, and before I forget, your payment. It's well deserved.
Yay. I did the level up. Bong.
If you don't mind, I'd like to speak to Admiral Logan sooner rather than later.
fucking people, man.
While we're here, perhaps we should check in with Mateo or Noel.
Greetings, citizen. Welcome. These.
Excuse me.
Sarah Morgan. It's been what, almost 10 years?
Admiral, it's, good to see you again, sir.
You're not required to address me as sir. That protocol ended the moment you dropped your clusters on my desk, remember?
Look, Admiral, I'm not here to open old wounds.
Old wounds is an interesting turn of phrase, given our past. Listen to me, Commander. I'm not sure why you're here, but whatever it is, why don't you just get to it?
I'm here because I need your help, Admiral.
You need my help. That's interesting. The last time we spoke, you made it quite clear that you were turning your back on the Navy.
That was a decade ago. Things change. People change. Admiral, please. I didn't come here to argue. I'm here to come to terms with my past.
Your past is sitting in a closed file in the archives. That's where you left it when you walked out on the United Colonies. And what about you? Just who in the blazes are you anyway? I haven't spoken to Sarah Morgan for almost 10 years, and out of the blue, both of you barge into my office. I want answers. You can start with telling me who the hell you are. Very well. Then, as a good friend, perhaps you could kindly explain to me why I shouldn't have the both of you escorted from the building.
With all due respect, Admiral, this is ridiculous.
If you have a problem with me, then there's no need to berate my colleague.
I don't have a problem with you, Commander. I'm simply trying to determine why you deserve the Navy's help. That's quite a noble gesture. Is this true, Commander?
It's about Cassiopeia, Admiral. I'm heading back there to find out what happened to the crew of the Dauntless, and hopefully, to bring their legacy home.
That sounds like a dangerous operation. Are you certain it's worth the risk?
I don't know.
I wish it was that simple. If the Navy gives its blessing for you to undertake this operation, then we assume responsibility. And frankly, I'd never forgive myself if you didn't return.
I appreciate the concern, Admiral. But that crew was my responsibility. No matter how difficult the risk, those men and women are coming home.
I understand. And I believe I owe you an apology, Commander. Our last encounter has obviously distorted my impression of your character. What can I do to help?
If you wouldn't mind allowing me to access the files regarding my rescue, I'd be most grateful, Admiral.
That shouldn't be too difficult. I've sent all the relevant information to you, Slades. Was there anything else?
No, Admiral. Thank you.
You don't need to thank me, Commander. I just hope you find whatever it is you're looking for.
Okay. Alright, I think that's it for me today. Alright, for all you party people out there, have a good one. Goodbye.